You called it the Health Enlight Initiative. What's the motive? What's your vision? What were you thinking when you, established that platform?
All right, thank you. So, like the name Health Enlight, we, like I said, first of all, we are looking at the balance between health misinformation and disinformation. So let me just say something about the two. So health misinformation just simply means that somebody is saying something, but he does not know how valid the information is giving it. So he's doing it out of a certain level of ignorance. Disinformation, on the other hand, means a deliberate intent to spread false information, maybe because of political reasons or business. Maybe you are selling a product and you want to sell, right? So you intentionally create a scenario around that information. So we now said, okay, how do we draw the balance? Every now and then, there's always an argument on this, on that. People have to know that there is an organization or there is a group of people that are committed to sharing verified facts about health. Verified. And I'm telling you that we have, like I said, we have a team, research team. What they do is they research. We check publications, we check WHO website and every other Federal Ministry of Health and Co. to make sure that whatever is coming on our page must be something that is verified. So the idea is that we want to create an environment where everyone has the tool and resources they need to make informed decision about their health. So if you are going to take this drug, you should know why this. If you are going to do this, you should know why this. And sometimes health would require there might not just be one way to do it. You might have options, right? Whether to go to maybe the physical approach or use a drug, or just sometimes some diseases are self-limiting. Whether you do anything or you don't do anything, after a while they go. So people should know these things, and you should be able to make informed decision about it. So in general, I think that's what our initiative is centered around: correct health information.
So I won't be wrong to say you are an advocate for 100%. Justice in 100%. The health sector. Am I
health
right?
System, yes.
Yes. So in communities right now, what is your strategy to reaching out to them, to giving them this raw information?
So we have our social media pages set up, and every other people we collaborate with to make sure that whatever we are sharing goes on social media. At the tip of your phone, you can open and see what the truth is. That's number one. The second one is the physical advocacy we do is we set up school health clubs, because we know that children or students are like a very good ground, a very fertile ground to sow seeds of quality information. So we started our school health clubs, I think sometimes last month, where we go at regular intervals to train. We call them health ambassadors. So when we go to the school, we tell the management that we need students, whether by appointment or by volunteering. We recruit some students across all classes in that school. Then we train them once a week, bi-weekly, depending on the school's available time. We teach them one topic after the other, one practice after the other. The goal is that when we teach 20 people out of 100 people, these 20 people would go back and teach the remaining 100 people from their school, in their communities. So as an ambassador, we make sure that they understand what we are teaching them, and also they are confident enough to say, oh, when you are sneezing, you do like this.
Right.
Or when you finish using the toilet, you wash your hand. So that's the second. Then the third is basically through community outreaches generally, which we are going to start very soon. Going to communities and say, okay, today is World Hepatitis Day. This is what it is. This is what to do. So I think those three main approaches are our center focus for now.
I see you've very well taken care of the urban community. So let's now look at the rural community right now. how there are so many of them right now. You and I know they don't have access to the phones and all of that technology. How do you reach out to them? Are they part of your audience?
Yeah.
And if yes, and how do you reach out to them?
All right. So thank you for that question. I think I'll say that first of all, like I said, our community outreaches are not centered only in the urban areas. To be honest, we even within our main sphere, which is the Lagos mainland, where we are starting from, many of the communities that we know are not really, that we intend to work with, are not really like GRA kind of community. So we are going there. We will get there. Although we know that there's going to be a little issue of, let's say, funding, and when you are doing physical, you are talking about money and all of that. But yes, it's something we would get to. The goal is we are leaving no one behind, and I know that it might take time, but like they say that the one who is building something tangible is not in a hurry. So we will take our time and we will get there. So every community, everybody must have access to tools.
So now you've got to start seeking for funds. And if you don't get funds, what's going to happen? You might be cut short. So how do you intend to tackle funding?
All right. So thank you for that. I like you said, in the long run, we have to think of sustainability.
Yeah.
Right. So with what we have on ground now, because personally, I've worked in the development space for a while, volunteering, partnering with organizations. So I know that when people are not really, if you send a letter out now requesting for funds, they'll be like, what have you done? What do you have? So in the grand scheme of things, in our calendar, we have maybe a 6-month time to show the world that this is what we want to do. All the school health clubs we've set up, we've not collected a dime from somebody else. So before we can say, okay, please partner with us, support with us, we want you to see how committed we are to these things, how much we have spent, and how willing we are willing to go. So when our limit now comes in, we will now say, okay, please help us. So I believe that whichever organization which would eventually partner with us for sustainability, they would be able to see what we have done and what exactly we stand from. So it will be easier to get the funding and to sustain it because we have a groundwork or foundation that has been laid. So and in terms of generating something internally, well, for now, right, because the nature of our work is such that we have to be very strategic, because when you say, like I said, some people share information because of profit's sake, right? So let's say we now start to, maybe we have a product or we have something we are doing in the health space, and because we need money, we are trying to be biased in a sense. So for now, we would try to avoid any of that. So whatever funding we are getting, like I'll say, would simply first of all come from partners that are willing to support us. So I think as the organization grows, we would find a very clearer path to sustain and to generate revenue to sustain our activities. And lastly, to answer that, I'll say that whatever we are doing, we always try to be to reduce the spending to the barest minimum. So let's say we are going to your community and we don't have to buy you biscuits, we don't have to buy you food, we don't have to buy rice, we don't have to cook rice, right? So for sustainability, if our budget at every outreach is to the barest minimum, even if we are going to share drugs, we know that this is what we are sharing. So that way, even if the funding is not so big, millions of naira, what we have started can be sustained because we work with the barest minimum of
one
funding.
community at a time, one person at a time. That makes sense. Okay, so what sort of collaboration are you looking for right now? At the moment, where you are right now, what sort of collaboration will make sense to you?
All right, so currently, I think the first one would be, we would need collaborate partnerships to scale up our school health clubs.
Okay.
So the goal is, at least if we are starting from Lagos, then we should cover every local government in Lagos State.
Okay.
So within every local government, we should say that, at least, because we know that every school in that community represents a family. So even if we have one of those students be from one student in our health club who is from a family, we know that family is covered before, because whatever we teach them, they would go back and teach there. So we are looking forward to scaling up our school health clubs, which is our primary physical activity for now. So partnerships could come in the sense of helping us to reach out to more schools. And sometimes when we are teaching them these things, we have to be very practical. We won't teach them how to wash their hand washing, and we won't have a soap to show them, or we won't teach them sanitary health and menstrual health, and not show them how to use a proper pad. So many of these things have to be physical and have to be demonstrative. And also, I remember the last time we went to a school at Yaba, we had to go with pads, because sanitary pads,
okay,
because of the topic we wanted to teach them. So we are looking forward to partnerships that would help us to reach every school, or reach out to every significant number of schools in every local government in Lagos State. Then from Lagos State, then we are going geopolitical, southwest, southeast, and Nigeria at large. So for now, at least within the space of 6 months, we want to focus on the school health club. So whatever organization who values that and sees the importance in that kind of work, I think we would be willing to reach out and also to accept every form of partnership.
So you're not going to welcome any government partnership right now?
Yeah, government.
Because you didn't mention government, so
okay. When I say organizations, I think that would cover. That would cover both governments and non-government organizations. And governments are very particular, because they don't just need to support financially, policy-wise too.
Yeah.
Government can see what we are doing and incorporate it into the school curriculum, right? Because I remember when we had to submit for approval, we got a feedback saying that certain thing we cannot start a health club in the school because of so and so reasons. That's a setback, right? That's something that if we have the government partnering with us or working with us, they would easily give us an access to these schools.
Yeah.
And one other thing is professional help, right? So if we want to speak about these things, although we already have a league, a community of active medical professionals and people who, before we post anything, before we see anything, they verify. Even though we ourselves have done our homework, but we want to make sure that this thing is what we say it is. So when we have professional people lending their support, lending their voice, lending their professional expertise, I think we would be able to be more, to reach more people. And
what is that challenge that is right there in front of you that you need to tackle?
First, I think aside from funding, it will be our social media communication.
Yeah.
Right? Because you see, someone just picks up his phone today and says, I'm not going to take up the HPV vaccine because of something. And the person has 200k followers. And everybody begins to be skeptical. We that we are passing the right information, we have just like 100 or 150. So the reach is different, right? The person who, even though he's saying what is wrong, still has a wider reach, and it will still spread. So we are looking forward to breaking into the social media space, which would definitely require us to need help from influencers. That's people who already have that reach and that are intentional about promoting the right message. I think if their platforms through collaborations can help us reach more people.
So your social media has not collaborated
enough.
You've not collaborated what you're doing with the social media. You need to really put more effort to that angle. What is the problem? Is it that I don't know? What
I think
the challenge is there?
I really appreciate the fact that you recognize that gap, right? And it's something, like I said, we've also are working towards. So we are 3 months old, and if we're trying to say we want to make it perfect before we start, we just might not start.
Good.
Right. So I'm saying that gap is there, and it just shows us that we have to work. We have more work to do. And I know that if we don't relent, just like you're giving us a feedback now, my programs team lead is here, so we would go back, get the drawing board, and also re-strategize. So time would be our friend. Good. Right? We would take our time to do what we have to do, and I really appreciate that we are having this now, because one way or the other, this is going to also help us to amplify the work we are doing. So we recognize that gap. I won't deny that, and very soon.
Okay, so volunteering, I also I've every day I work with NGOs. I hear challenges, I see things, and I hear things. So one of the things I have seen is volunteering. Because your volunteers, you don't pay them.
Yeah, we don't.
So there is almost you are limited to getting the best out of them. So, but you need these volunteers. What sort of plan, or what do you think you have laid down that would make a volunteer get a volunteer locked down to work with you?
Okay, so first of all, leadership. Everything rises and falls on leadership. We give that impression. If you know what we are doing, if you value what we are doing, you would want to contribute your own token.
People take volunteering for granted. It's you naturally just think it's because it's an NGO. Your causes, you are doing impactful things, so automatically people should just volunteer. It doesn't work that way. Trust me, it's tit for tat.
If I'm volunteering my time, what am I getting in return?
Yes, thank you very much, Ayo.
Right. So we I think I've said it earlier that first of all I told my team members one time, I said, whatever we are doing here, right? It might just look as if, this person is founder, this one, this. Everybody has an equal stake in this. At this level now, because of we are not many yet, right? We are not many in the working committee yet. So I think it's still easy to reach out to them. So for them now, I think we literally don't have that issue of what's in it for me, because we are not many. So I know I have a way I reach out to them personally, like one-on-one. We have how we settle us. But I know that when the community grows, and I might not be able to attend to 50 people, 30 people at once, then we have to create a structure that supports them.
Good.
Then also opportunities too. When we come across opportunities, because I know that we are dealing with young people, and they need referrals. They need people to say, this person can do this thing. They need people to share them links and things that will be beneficial to their career and all that. In the health space, anything I come across that I know that this person can do it, even though in my team, I think most of them are recent graduates. Some still in school, but most are recent graduates. So, but myself, I finished for a long time, not really a long time, but so I can guide them as to some things they can do, application-wise, how to maximize opportunities, what to apply for. Do you get? So things like that. So eventually, it would all rally around every aspect of their life. So I think we would get there eventually.
Definitely.
I really value the fact that you did not just ask questions.
Yes.
Right? You told me about your observation and also ways by which we can, and I value that a lot. So I think I would really want to keep in touch.
It was really nice meeting you one-on-one.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.